Hello, welcome to Now You Know. I'm your host, Tim Barnum, and today, in honor of St. Patrick's Day, I'm joined by a real-life Irish-American, Colin O'Farrell.
Pleasure to be here, Tim.
You mean top of the morning, Tim.
It's like 6 in the evening right now.
Let's get on with the interview. So Colin, when I was doing research on Ireland, I found out that its capital is Reykjavik, and according to the internet, it was first settled by a Norwegian Viking, Ingolfur Arnarson. Are there still Vikings in Ireland today?
No Vikings that I know of, Tim. Leprechauns, for sure, but not really any Vikings.
So are you calling the internet a liar?
No, I just think that, maybe you're thinking of Iceland instead of Ireland.
Well, let me look at my notes really quick. Let's see here. I think maybe you're mistaken. Oh, you're right. The whole time I was researching Iceland instead of Ireland. I guess these are useless. Well, anyways, I'm really enjoying this authentic Irish beverage.
It's just some Diet 7-Up. I really don't drink alcohol that much.
Yeah, me either. So I understand you consider yourself a bit of an expert when it comes to the cultures and traditions of Ireland and the gangs of feral leprechauns that inhabit it. Correct?
Oh, definitely. I've seen every Leprechaun movie that there is. There's 1 through 9. And that's pretty much how it is. We sometimes as people get upset, especially with regards to the Lucky Charms leprechaun and how it just makes us out to be a bunch of, sugar crazed, hoarding looking smurfs.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the origins of St. Patrick's Day? I always like to parade down Bourbon Street, with the silly costumes and the baring of the breast.
I'm thinking maybe you are confused, as would address the fact that you just described Mardi Gras. St. Patty's Day, short for St. Patrick, is basically a day to remember when the great patron St. Patrick was able to expunge all of those snakes off of the plane.
Ah, so it was from a plane. I've always heard the legend that it was from an island.
St. Patty's Day, based on St. Patrick, patron saint of Ireland, who first took a continental flight from Ireland to the U.S. And while aboard, he found out that someone had deposited dozens of snakes on that plane.
That sounds like Snakes on a Plane with Samuel L. Jackson.
Never heard of that. I really don't listen to that much hip-hop.
I see. Well, Colin, you have to be proud of your people for helping to build the Transcontinental Railroad. That sounds like really hard work. What was that like?
There's a shortage of bathrooms.
Okay, well, let's continue on. Now, Colin, I know this next topic could be very uncomfortable for you to talk about, but we must address the Troubles.
Well, I really don't call it the Troubles. It's basically a slight case of irritable bowel syndrome. It's not bad enough that I have to take medication for it. I eat a lot of wheat. I try not to eat greasy food or cook with a lot of heavy oils. Anything that's going to upset my stomach.
Me stomach.
Yeah, anything that's going to upset my stomach.
Okay, well, I wasn't referring to your bowels, but the ongoing hostilities in Northern Ireland, with the war and bloodshed.
Yes, of course. Troubles.
So can you give us some insight into that?
It started with a pair of brothers who grew up basically taking care of themselves in Boston. Boston being the capital of Ireland. And, they grew up without their father. Their father had been imprisoned when they were really young. They grew up kind of taking care of themselves, trying to protect themselves from, they were like Russian mobsters. They ended up actually, killing a few of the Russian mobsters, out of self-defense, and they kind of took it upon themselves to wage their own kind of vigilante type war against all that is evil. Luckily, in the end, they were able to overcome adversity with the help of It was FBI agent Sarah Jessica Parker.
Okay, clearly you just described Boondock Saints, and that was Willem Dafoe, not Sarah Jessica Parker.
That was Sarah Jessica Parker, right?
I can't tell a difference, to tell you the truth. Something a little more lighthearted. What do Irish people eat?
When having a guest, you place some of the traditional Irish delicacies. We have potatoes, cabbage, for instance, and really a typical.
Sounds good, and I'm starving. I'm going to have some. Oh God, it's awful. Yeah. So, what can you tell us about the rich tradition of Irish music?
I mean, it's wonderful, Tim. It really is.
And for one of the most successful bands in the world being from Ireland, you have to be really proud.
Oh yeah, huge Flogging Molly fan.
Well, that's not who I'm talking about. You know, the hugest band in the world.
Dropkick Murphys?
No.
The Pogues?
No, come on, Colin. You do too know this band.
Flipstick McManus.
Okay, clearly you just made that one up. The lead singer is a pompous humanitarian, big glasses, a stick up his ass when it comes to, world peace.
It's a common misconception, Tim. Turns out that Elton John's actually British.
Seriously.
I don't know who you think you're talking to coming in here, talking to me like that in me house.
Me house?
Yes, my house, and you're sitting here disrespecting me people.
Me people? And why are you speaking with a subtle accent?
An accent. Tell you what, you're like my fiance and my dog are here. Otherwise, I'd fight you right now.
Okay, now we're talking. Why don't you go refill our drinks? Wow, it sure was neat learning all about St. Patrick's Day and the history of the Irish people. Tune in next time when we interview a real-life Native American. I'm Tim Barnum, and this is Now You Know. Well, as they say in Ireland, Mazel Tov!